Hey guys, welcome back to the man cave. Uh, just thought I'd do a quick video on a few thoughts I've been thinking about this week because it's been quite a momentous week for lots of reasons. Um, and yeah, I just thought I'd sort of get my take on it as a layman in little old England um, from a sort of Englishman's perspective. Um, I mean, the first thing I think I want to say is that it's been a wake-up call to realize that vast swathes of the global population um, are living under autocratic regimes, and I'm not talking about the USA. I'm talking about Russia. I'm talking about China, and I think that the foreign policy that the US administration has adopted over the last week or so has really sort of brought that home to me. And we need to step up. Um, we've got to step up to the plate, and we need to be thinking about. I hate to say it, probably an increase in arms, in defence budgets and all sorts of things to protect ourselves, because the USA doesn't sound like it's going to be there for the free world as it used to be. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but um, yeah, we've got to look after ourselves now. From the UK perspective, I would suggest is our military capabilities are bigger than most in Europe, than most of the European nations, um, and whether the nuclear umbrella of the UK is going to have to increase. There's sounds like there's going to be a deal with Germany, and I guess France as well as another nuclear power. But yeah, it's certainly put a cat amongst the pigeons, and it's got a lot of people thinking, and a lot of people, I think, are depressed about it. But I'm kind of looking at the positives. If there is an end to the war in the Ukraine, I suppose that's got to be a good thing. What I wouldn't want is it in a few years' time for those, for Russia in a to rearm itself, regroup, and start knocking on Finland's border, for example, or because that border is huge, and it's going to take an awful lot of resources to keep that border under control, if at all possible. I don't even know, but you've got the EU talking about enlargement now, EU enlargement into the east, and that's another strategy that may or may not prove successful. I mean, it's bizarre because the stars have aligned at a time that when we voted for Brexit, we sort of find ourselves out on a limb now. But I don't know whether relations are going to improve from a European perspective with the UK and the rest of Europe now. It's possible. They'll want to be our friends because we've got the nukes, and we've all sorts of other capabilities that are important. But yeah, well, I mean, when you find that you're living through times where the US have voted on a UN Security Council decision with Russia, Nicaragua, and possibly North Korea. I don't even know, but it isn't very good. It doesn't look good, and I think it's going to make people certainly wake up and think. And I know there's a lot of people, certainly, the U.S. government has said that the European nations were sort of freeloading, um, and I think there's certainly an element of truth in that, in terms of like its military might and not putting enough money into European budgets, defense budgets. And it's, as I say, it's a wake up call. It's time for us to step up. It's time for us to get together and work out who's on whose side. Um, I don't know whether it's going to be the end of America as the leader of the free world. People have talked about that. I'm not so sure. I don't. I think that's going too far. I think the US is always going to be the biggest democratic nation, on earth, with the most military capabilities. Um, but pulling out of Europe, is I don't know whether they're doing that, but that's certainly how it's coming across in the news. Maybe I'm reading the wrong news. As I say, I'm just a layman. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea, really. I'm just putting my views across, um, as a sort of example to anybody who is just a run-of-the-mill guy. Um, but as I say, that those are the takeaways, for me, after this week, and that is we need to step up. We've got to start thinking about our own security and looking after ourselves. And um, you know, we've been having a pop at Putin from in the UK for years, and we are not in his good books. And we will certainly be one of their number one targets if we find that the US are going to pull out of our security, to work with us, in terms of our own security. Um, but there we go. Yeah, bit of a sort of wake up call for everybody, and I just thought I'd share my thoughts on, where we're at with this. Cheers, guys.